Today we've got a very surprising post from Netflix themselves, essentially dropping a brand new mini trailer on TikTok of everything. I mean, these have been up for a full day now and no one's taken them down, so while it could just be a mini promo for an upcoming TV spot, there is still a ton of new scenes that reveal a lot of new spoilers that we're going to unpack today, along with a full scene of the Demogorgon in the Wheeler's house hunting Karen and Holly while they're hiding in the bathtub. And one of the shots from the trailer actually shows the Demogorgon getting Holly. We're definitely getting into spoiler territory as I am working very hard to wrap up this massive First Shadow stage play video I'm working on that you're not going to want to miss, but I couldn't help but take a break to look at this new footage, so make sure you're subscribed and send this video to all of your Stranger Things friends. Now, in this new footage, we actually see the Demogorgon inside the Wheeler's house. It looks like he just smashed down the bathroom door and is stepping over it as he's hunting Karen and Holly. We've seen a lot of other mini moments of them terrified staring at this thing in the distance, but now to finally see it in the same room as them is terrifying. I noticed with season 5, seeing the Demogorgons in these well-lit houses, it's giving us a lot of beautiful close-ups of them, especially with their open mouth. I mean, this is gnarly. You can see kind of the shape of its face inside its mouth hidden behind these petals, which is really cool. It cuts to the bathtub full of bubbles, which we've seen them already show Karen and Holly hiding in, and it seems like the Demogorgon is staring at it with confusion maybe, wondering what on earth a bubble bath is. I don't know how their sense of smell is for things besides blood. We know that they're like a shark with blood and will traipse across town and open up a gate just over a single drop, but I would think that the scented soaps have to mask their smell at least a little bit. It seems like the monster knows they're close and is confused why their scent just stops there. It absolutely destroys their bathroom closet searching for them and moves over to the shower. All the lights are still going crazy, and honestly, this seems like a totally reasonable place to hide, especially if the bathtub wasn't already full of water with a layer of bubbles on top to hide what's underneath. We see the Demogorgon smash through the glass door of the shower as we pan down and see that no one is hiding here, thankfully. And then it turns to the bathtub, hovering over it, and it looks deeper into the bubbles. We pan down into the shot of Karen and Holly Wheeler holding their breath this entire scene underwater trying to survive this insane encounter. This is absolutely terrifying. It looks like they're almost out of air too. Since the beginning of this scene, they've been holding their breath for over 37 seconds now, which isn't insane, but that's still a pretty decent amount of time, plus however long they went underwater before the scene started. I mean, you can try it yourself and see if you can survive this Demogorgon attack by trying to hold your breath for the next 40 seconds of this video. Now, the Demogorgon actually doubles down and walks closer to the bath, leaning in further to inspect it as the music builds up, and then we see Karen start to blow out some bubbles, meaning she's going to have to come up for air soon. And then it just ends. What a cliffhanger. This is so crazy. Such an intense 40 seconds. I can't wait to watch this season. Apparently last week during the promotional tour, some of the press said that they got to watch the first full 3 episodes. Are you kidding me? Goodness, that is so much. All for them to ask the same questions to the cast over and over again. There are so many questions I would kill to ask the Duffers and the rest of the cast. Now, this next video is the actual trailer one. This was posted on the Latin American Netflix, so all of the subtitles and the actual audio are not in English, but it starts in Hawkins High on Dustin, listening to his radio, specifically Robin at the radio station, as she says, "We have something very special that I'm sure will send you straight to the other side," which at face value is her introducing the next song she's about to play on the radio, but it also refers to the Upside Down and maybe code for the kids listening to the radio, signaling them that maybe they found a clue or a piece of the puzzle that they needed to get into the Upside Down, most likely through the military compound in the middle of Hawkins. The camera flips upside down onto the vinyl she has, and then we are put into the mouth of a Demogorgon. Thanks, we just got eaten. It fades into another shot of Eleven and Hopper in the Upside Down as they walk up to the wall we see from the trailer, but an entirely new shot, which shows it being more of a membrane with clusters of organisms all over it, rather than just being a wall built from entirely vines. This looks so cool. I'm really looking forward to them explaining the Upside Down lore this season. We see Eleven say, "What is this?" Not that Hopper knows what it is, but I mean, we definitely feel the same way directed towards the Duffers. Is this really the edge of the Upside Down? It seems like Hopper in one shot from the trailer is standing outside the new church location that we know is going to be important. We see Dustin, Nancy, and Jonathan waiting here, and from the map shot of it, we can see it's almost in the center of Hawkins, right next to the downtown area, which wouldn't really make sense if this was the edge of the Upside Down. The Byers house and Hawkins lab is much farther away from from this. I almost wonder if the wall is rather a barrier, sealing off an important area of the Upside Down that Vecna retreated to and is hiding in to get stronger. It seems more likely from a visual standpoint that this is a giant wall expanding as far as the Upside Down goes from the epicenter where Will was first brought into it. But at the same time, it looks like we see part of this wall at the church downtown, and the library is also downtown, and we've never seen a wall anywhere in the distance near here, so I am very confused. Next we see a Demogorgon on all fours jumping over this chain link fence and running towards camera. This fence has another meeting it perpendicularly, almost as if this is in someone's backyard. I mean, they're in the Upside Down running from or to something. I love seeing them go full throttle. The massacre scenes are going to be so insane, and we get a little bit more of this in a second. Now, then we see Will on the ground, terrified, saying, "They're here." He's wearing his t-shirt from the episode 4 Sorcerer finale where Vecna kidnaps him, so this must be downtown right before the Demogorgons erupt out of the ground and start wiping the floor with all the military. You can see most likely Joyce's hair in front of him here, and we may have already seen where this scene is from. In one of the early teasers, we saw a shot from inside the military compound of the Demogorgons banging on the panels about to erupt through. If we zoom and enhance, we can see in the background behind these soldiers, there's someone on the ground. It looks like this is Joyce in her brown jacket sitting over top of them, and I think this is Will on the floor. We see her in other scenes trying to help Will stand up as he's looking very weak. I think this new clip from the trailer is right before the banging starts and the Demogorgons burst through. Will got a neck tingle or something and is letting everyone know that the finale battle is about to start. Now, this next shot is absolutely insane. We get a shot of a Demogorgon and it looks like one we've seen before. This looks just like the Demogorgon we saw in an earlier teaser coming out of the ceiling that looked terrifying. You can see the yellow wallpaper / ceiling looks similar to this one around this gate as well, which is why I think this would be the one at the Wheeler's house. But now we have even more confirmation. If we look closely, we can see the Demogorgon is pulling on someone's leg who is off screen. And look at this pattern. This is the same white polka dot pattern that is on Holly Wheeler's jumper that we see her wear in the other shots. This is the same outfit that we see her in all of the other attack shots, as well as the fit she's in the bathtub hiding in, and after when they're all wet. And if you remember, there was a Holly Wheeler Funko Pop that was released where she's missing a shoe. Well, would you look at that? It seems like this is the moment the Demogorgon takes her shoe. I mean, maybe that's all he gets here. Maybe Elle and Nancy show up like we see, and they scare off the Demogorgon. But this is such a crazy shot to release, especially on TikTok. It confirms so much. Almost too much. Now, the text on screen says the world crosses to the other side, referring to the gang as well as the military going into the Upside Down this season. Because not only does the military go in and set up a base there, but Hop and Elle go in, hunting for Vecna, as well as Steve, Jonathan, Nancy, and Dustin driving in, going to Hawkins' lab. And we actually can see their car driving in the Upside Down here. It looks like close to the neighborhoods and houses like the ones we see when they're crashing through the fences in the backyards. I wonder if that Demogorgon earlier was from this scene. We see a shot of Will looking up, most likely from the scene of the boys in the woods before school, when we see him walk away from the others as if he sees something from Vecna or is feeling his presence. This is not going to be good. I feel like it's too hard to tell, but it almost looks like the grandfather clock is in the reflection of his eyes here. And then the transition flips Will upside down, and I don't like what this is insinuating. Next, we get a top-down view of the military's compound they've set up in the Upside Down. This is pretty cool. This is where Hopper and Eleven are going to break into later. And then we get another awesome shot of this Demogorgon running in the Upside Down, and we can actually now see that Steve and the gang in his car are actually chasing it in the far background, most likely pushing it into a trap or following it to see where it runs to in hopes to find Vecna. You can hear Dustin yelling to Steve, "There, to not lose it so they can keep tracking it and following it to wherever it's going. It almost looks like it runs past the steel works mill from season 3, but it's too hard to tell. They drive out to this building, which I don't recognize at first glance, but somehow it feels familiar. It's pretty cool to see this narrative for the first time of the gang using a car to chase after and follow a Demogorgon in the Upside Down. Because after months of so much promotional footage and teases, they have yet to hint at this in the slightest until now. Unless they're pushing it to go to the barn that we see them at with Derek for the turnbow trap, but I'm not so sure these are related. Definite maybe though. And then we see what looks to be Steve walking around by himself in the Upside Down. which is terrifying. He's wearing the same fit we see him in with the gang when they go to Hawkins' lab. In fact, this could be him walking up to Hawkins' lab maybe. We cut to a shot of Mike from the Sorcerer finale looking around at all the lights starting to go haywire right before the Demogorgon invasion, which is kinda cool to see. And then the last new shot is of Derek in school turning and most likely talking to Holly or Erica, since it seems like those are the two connections the gang has to him while he's in school, and he says that the monsters are coming and no one will help them. And I'm really trying to make sense of the context here because he looks pretty clean and fresh, and this is the same outfit we see him in when they have him in the barn during the turnbow trap, and we know at one point Will tackles him to the ground, so this must be the last time he was at school before that. And I wonder if at this point he knows about the monsters running around Hawkins and knows that more are coming because he's in the loop with the gang, but knows that the military won't help them. Or maybe there's rumors going around town from the multiple Demogorgon attacks, and he's bullying Holly, who we know will be attacked, and he's saying that the monsters are going to get her and no one's going to help her or something. This was a very interesting update. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the first Shadow stage play video coming out soon. I want you and all of your Stranger Things friends there to watch it, and I will see you in the comments. Peace.